धीरस्तत्र न मुह्यति। मात्रा स्पर्शास्तु कौन्तेय शीतोष्णा सुखदुःखदाः। आगमापायिनो नित्यास्तांसि तिक्षस्व भारत। न जायते म्रियते वा कदाचिन्नायं भूत्वा भविता वा न भूयात्। अजो नित्यः शाश्वतोऽयं पुराणो न हन्यते हन्यमाने शरीरे। वासांसि जीर्णानि यथा विहाय नवानि गृह्णाति नरोपराणि। तथा शरीराणि विहाय जीर्णानि अन्यानि संयाति नवानि देहि। नैनं छिन्दन्ति शस्त्राणि नैनं दहति पावकः। न चैनं क्लेदयन्त्यापो न शोष्यति मारुतः। जातस्य हि ध्रुवो मृत्युर्ध्रुवं जन्म मृतस्य च। तस्मादपरिहार्यते न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि। देहि नित्यम् अवध्योऽयं देहे सर्वस्य भारत। तस्मात् सर्वाणि भूतानि न त्वं शोचितुमर्हसि। नेहाभिक्रमनाशोऽस्ति प्रत्यवायो न विद्यते। स्वल्पमप्यस्य धर्मस्य त्रायते महतो भयात्। व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिरेकेह कुरु नन्दन। बहुशाखायनन्ताश्च बुद्धयो व्यवसायिनः। भोगैश्वर्य प्रसक्तानां दयापहरत चेतसां। व्यवसायात्मिका बुद्धिः समादौ न विधीयते। त्रैगुण्य विषया वेदा निस्त्रैगुण्यो भवार्जुन। निर्द्वन्द्वो नित्यसत्त्वस्थो निर्योगक्षेम आत्मवान्। यावानर्थ उदपाने सर्वतः सम्प्लुतोदके। तावान् सर्वेषु वेदेषु ब्राह्मणस्य विजन्मतः। विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिना। रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते। ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गस्तेषुपजायते। सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामः कामात् क्रोधो विजायते। क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः। स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति। रागद्वेष विमुक्तैस्तु विषयानिन्द्रियैश्चरन्। आत्मवैश्यैर्विधेयात्मा प्रसादामधिगच्छति। या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागृति संयमी। यस्यां जागृति भूतानि सा निशा स्पश्यतो निले। यज्ञार्थकर्मणोऽन्यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्मबन्धनः। तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्तसङ्गः समाचर। अन्नाद् भवति भूतानि पर्जन्यादन्नसम्भवः। यज्ञाद् भवति पर्जन्यो यज्ञः कर्म समुद्भवः। यद्यद् आचरति श्रेष्ठस्तत्तद् एवेतरो जनः। स यत् प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्तद् अनुवर्तते। प्रकृते क्रियमाणानि गुणे कर्माणि सर्वशः। अहङ्काराभिमूढात्मा कर्ताहम् इति मन्यते। श्रीभगवानुवाच काम एष क्रोध एष रजो गुणः समुद्भवः। महाशनो महापाप्मा विद्येनं ह्यवैरिणम्। श्रीभगवानुवाच इमं विवस्वते योगं प्रोक्तवानहमव्ययम्। विवस्वान्मनवे प्राह मनुरिक्ष्वाकवे ब्रवीत्। एवं परम्परा प्राप्तम् इमं राजर्षयो विदुः। सह कालेन महता योगो नष्टः परन्तपः। स एवायं मया तेद्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः। भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यम् एतदुत्तमम्। अजोऽपि सन् अव्ययात्मा भूतानामीश्वरोऽपि सन्। प्रकृतिं स्वामधिष्ठाय सम्भवाम्यात्ममायया। यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम् परित्राणाय साधूनां विनाशाय च दुष्कृताम् धर्म संस्थापनार्थाय संभवामि युगे युगे जन्म कर्म च मे दिव्यम् एवं यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः त्यक्त्वा देहं पुनर्जन्म नेति मामेति सोऽर्जुन वीतराग भयक्रोध मन्मया मामुपाश्रितः बहवो ज्ञान तपसा पूता मद्भावमागताः ये यथा मां प्रपद्यन्ते तां तथैव भजाम्यहम् मम वर्तमानुवर्तन्ते मनुष्याः सर्वशः चातुर्वर्ण्यं मया सृष्टं गुणकर्म विभागशः तस्य कर्तारमपि मां विद्ये कर्तारम् अव्ययम् तद्विद्धि प्रणिपातेन परिप्रश्नेन सेवया उपद्रक्ष्यन्ति ते ज्ञानं ज्ञानिनः तत्त्वदर्शिनः विद्या विनय संपन्ने ब्राह्मणे गविहस्तिनि शुनि चैव स्वपाके च पंडिताः समदर्शिनः ये हि संस्पर्शजा भोगा दुःखयोनय एव ते आद्यन्तवन्तः कौन्तेय न ते शूरमते बुधः भोक्तारां यज्ञतपसां सर्वलोकमहेश्वरम् सुहृदं सर्वभूतानां ज्ञात्वा मां शान्तिमृच्छति युक्तहार विहारस्य युक्तचेष्टस्य कर्मसु युक्तस्वप्नवबोधस्य योगो भवति दुःखः प्राप्य पुण्यकृतां लोकान् शिष्ट्वा शाश्वतः समः शुचीनां श्रीमणां गेहे योगो भ्रष्टो विजायते योगिनामपि सर्वेषां मद्गतेनान्तरात्मनः श्रद्धावान् भजते यो मां स मे युक्तात्मो मतः।
Chapter 6 over.
To the fourth one, the seventh one.
मनुष्याणां सहस्रेषु कश्चिद् यतति सिद्धये यथा कश्चिन्मां वेत्ति तत्त्वतः भूमिरापो नलो वायु खं मनो बुद्धिरेव च अहंकार इति यं मे भूत्ना अपरेयम् इतस्त्वन्यां प्रकृतिं विधि मे परां जीवभूतां महाभावो ययेदं धार्यते जगत् अस्ति धनञ्जय मयि सर्वम् इदं प्रोक्तं पुत्रे मणिगणा इव दैवी एषा गुणमयी मम माया दुरत्यया मामे ये प्रपद्यन्ते मायामेतां तरन्ति ते न मां दुःखिनो मूर्खा प्रपद्यन्ते नराधमा माया
प्रहुत ज्ञान
भावमाश्रितः चतुर्विधा भजन्ते मां जना सुकृतिनो अर्जुन अर्थो जिज्ञासुरर्थार्थी ज्ञानी च परतर्षभ बहूनां
जन्मनामन्ते
मां प्रपद्यते वासुदेव सर्वमिति दुर्लभः नाहं प्रकाशः सर्वस्य योगमाया समावृतः मूढोऽयं नाभिजानाति लोको माम् अजम् अव्ययम् वेदाहं समितीतानि वर्तमानानि चार्जुन भविष्यानि च भूतानि मां तु वेद न कश्चन इच्छा द्वेष समुत्थेन द्वन्द्वभावेन भारत सर्वभूतानि सम्मोहं सर्गे यान्ति परन्तप येषां त्वन्तगतं पापं जनानां पुण्यकर्मणां स्वद्वन्द्वमोह निर्मुक्ता भजन्ते मां
भजन्ते मां
दृढव्रतः।
दृढव्रताः.
Hare
Okay, wonderful.
Krishna,
हरे
Hare
कृष्णा
Krishna,
Krishna
कृष्णा
Krishna
Krishna
कृष्णा
Krishna
Krishna,
हरे
Hare
Hare
हरे हरे राम
Hare
हरे
Rama
राम
Hare
राम
Rama
राम
Rama
हरे
Rama.
हरे।
So the seventh chapter, Jnana Vijnana Yoga, the knowledge of the absolute. Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Now in the first chapter, it was Arjuna Vishal Yoga. Second chapter was Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya Yoga is also known as Jnana Yoga. Then came Karma Yoga. Then came Jnana Karma Yoga. That is fourth chapter. Fifth chapter, Jnana Karma Sannyasa Yoga. Sixth chapter, Dhyana Yoga. And this chapter is Jnana Vijnana Yoga. Now you know what to do. But then how to do, that's also more important. Jnana Vijnana. Vijnana means putting in practice. Vijnana. Vishesha Rupena Jnana, putting in practice. So let us see the first verse. How you can put in a practice? Anything to be put in a practice, one has to hear it. When you hear, then only you can put in practice. Without hearing, it is impossible to put anything in practice. That is why the first verse and the last word of the first verse is tachshuru, hearing, hearing about the absolute truth from an authoritative source. So that has been emphasized by Krishna himself. Even to put the jnana into vijnana, that means to have that knowledge and apply that knowledge, one has to hear from an authoritative source. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Maya Saktamana Partha Yogam Yunjanmada Shrayah Asamshayam Samakrama Yatha Gyasasi Tashruno Maya Saktamana Partha Maya Saktamana Partha Maya Asaktamana Partha. O Partha, to have that asakti, your mind completely attached to me. Maya Saktamana Partha Yogam Yunjanmadashayah. One has to practice how to have the mind in Krishna, because the mind goes here and there. It's not so easy to have the mind in Krishna. The mind is always flickering. If you see the last verses of the sixth chapter, where Arjuna says, Chanchalam, mind is so chanchala. How am I going to fix this mind in Krishna? It's so difficult to fix a mind in Krishna. It requires a lot of practice. And Arjuna himself tells the difficulties of the mind. Yoga chaliti manasaha ayatihi shattayopetaha. Yoga chaliti manasaha. This mind is so flickering. So then how to have mind completely in Krishna? Maya sakta manapartha. Yogam yunjan madashraya. Yogam. Yogam means completely connected to Krishna. That is known as self-realization. Understanding our position with Krishna. And then practicing. Yunjan. Mad ashraya. Mad ashraya means in complete consciousness of Krishna. Mad ashraya. Take shelter of Krishna. Even to understand our relationship with Krishna, we have to take shelter of Krishna. And Krishna says, Asamshayam, not doubt. Asanshayam samagram mam. Asamshayam, don't doubt. Samagram mam. So in this samagram means completely. You can know about me. It's not so easy. It's not so difficult. You can know, but don't have doubt in it. But how? You should hear it. That should know. First try to hear. Then you can know about me and there is no doubt about it. Sometimes you say it's very difficult to know about Krishna. Yes, it is very difficult, but at the same time, it is not impossible. Something is difficult, something is impossible. So to know about Krishna is difficult, yes, but it is not impossible. Krishna says, don't have a doubt. You can know about me. You can know completely about me. But for that, first thing is how you can know. Tashno, try to hear. Now here, O son of Pritha, how by practicing yoga and full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. So in the purport, one of you can read the purport. First paragraph, Kusum, read the purport. Now Bhakti Yoga has started. The 7th chapter to 12th chapter is Bhakti Yoga. Till now what we did was Karma Yoga. That is from 1st chapter to 6th chapter is Karma Yoga. Whole Bhagavad Gita is divided into 6 parts. 3 parts. 6 chapters in every part. First 6 chapters Karma Yoga, next 6 chapters 11 to 12 is Bhakti Yoga, and last 6 is Jnana Yoga. Not able to unmute. Okay, in the 7th chapter of Bhakti Yoga, the nature of Krishna consciousness is fully described. Krishna is full in all opulences, and how he manifests opulences is described herein. Also, 4 kinds of fortunate people who become attached to Krishna, 4 kinds of unfortunate people who never take up to Krishna are described in this chapter. So, what is there in this chapter? The opulence of Krishna has been described. At the same time, who are the people who are going to take up Krishna consciousness, and who are the people not interested in Krishna consciousness? That has been described. So, in the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, the living entity has been described as non-material spirit soul, capable of elevating himself to self-realization by different types of yogas. At the end of 6th chapter, it has been very clearly stated that steady concentration of the mind upon Krishna, or in other words, Krishna consciousness is the highest form of all yoga. The last verse of 6th chapter, Yoginam api sarvesham madgadena antaratmana Shaddavan bhajate yomam same yuktamo mataha. Krishna says, Yoginam api sarvesham. Of all the yogis, who is the topmost yogi? Madgadena antaratmana. One whose mind is completely absorbed in you. You see the last word of the first line, Madgadena antaratmana. Same thing has been spoken in the first verse of the 7th chapter. Maya saktamana partha. Madgadena antaratmana. Maya saktamana partha. Shraddhavan bhajate yoma. Whoever has taken shelter of Krishna. Same thing has been told here. Vinjam madashrayah. Then what is the benefit of that? Sameyuktatamamataha is connected to me. Then what is the benefit? One can know about Krishna in full. That has been told. And Krishna says, don't doubt about it. By concentrating one's mind upon Krishna, one is able to know the absolute truth completely, but not otherwise. Impersonal Brahmajyoti or localized Paramatma realization is not perfect knowledge of absolute truth because it is partial. Full and scientific knowledge is Krishna, and everything is revealed to the person in Krishna consciousness. In complete Krishna consciousness, one knows that Krishna is ultimate knowledge beyond any doubt. Different types of yoga are only stepping stones on the path of Krishna consciousness. One who takes directly to Krishna consciousness automatically knows about Brahmajyoti and Paramatma in full. By practicing of Krishna consciousness yoga, you can know everything in full, namely the absolute truth, the living entities, the material nature, and the manifestations with paraphernalia. So that has been described. So what is there in this chapter? Know Krishna in full. How one can know Krishna in full? When you say to know Krishna in full, that also means to know about the living entities, to know the process of self-realization. Everything comes. To know the nature of the world. It's also very important to know the nature of this material world. Then how everything manifested with all the paraphernalia. So that is also knowledge. That means to know the absolute truth. This is known as Tattva. Vishtattva, Paratattva. To know about the Paratattva, to know about the Jivatattva, to know about the Jadatattva. Tattva means truth. So to know of all these things, one has to take shelter of Krishna. It is true. But then how to take shelter of Krishna? Completely in full and hearing from an authoritative source. So the Sampradaya plays an important role in knowing about Krishna in full. One should therefore begin yoga practice as directed in the last verse of 6th chapter. Concentration of the mind upon Krishna, the Supreme, is made possible by prescribed devotional service in 9 different forms. How it started with Shravanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma, Nivedanam. So it starts with Shravanam, 9 process of devotional service which has been prescribed by Bhakta Prahlad. He gives his 9 process of devotional service in which Shravanam is very, very important. Hear from me, Krishna is saying to Arjuna. First hear, then you know about me. No one can be a greater authority than Krishna, and therefore, by hearing from him, one receives the greatest opportunity to become a perfectly Krishna conscious person. That is why Bhagavad Gita studies are very, very important. Bhagavad Gita are nothing but the words of Krishna. So, hearing from Krishna directly, 700 shlokas are nothing but the manifestation of Krishna's mercy. So, Krishna has appeared in the form of his words. So that's what is spoken here. One has to therefore learn. One has therefore to learn from Krishna directly or from a pure devotee of Krishna, and not from a non-devotee upstart puffed up with academic education. So there are so many who speak about Bhagavad Gita. They speak of Bhagavad Gita, but they are just having academic education because they are not following any sampradaya rules. They don't come in the sampradaya also. If you see, many posters are also, they keep their photos. They don't want to even Krishna's photo also. There will be only one Basuri which is shown. There will be no parampara. There is no acharya. Then what is the use? That is why Bhagavad Gita studies can only be studied with the parampara knowledge. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, this process of understanding Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is described in the second chapter of the first canto as follows. So these verses which has been put in the purport, I hope everybody is holding Bhagavad Gita with you while studying, because while studying we should have Bhagavad Gita with us. Those verses which has been put, these verses are there in the Markine Bhagavad, which Srila Prabhupada wrote while traveling in the ship. He had attack. He had 2 heart attacks. At that time, he writes a song where he expresses his complete surrender to Krishna, and he just surrenders to the will of Krishna. He says, "It is up to you. If you want to save me, it's up to you. If you want to take me, it's also up to you. It's up to you if you want me to fulfill this desire of my spiritual master, against your free will. If you want to make me dance like a puppet, I'm willing to dance." So in this way, these verses have been. What are these verses? Why these verses have been selected by Srila Prabhupada in Markandeya Bhagavad? Because these verses are actually showing the 9 steps in devotional service. These are 9 steps. Ado Shraddha, Tata Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivrutti, Nishtha, Ruchi, Asakti, Bhava, Prema. So these are all the 9 steps in devotional service. When you say 9 forms, there are the 9 different forms of devotional service. That is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivadam. They are the forms of devotional service. When you say the 9 steps in devotional service, how to proceed, it starts with Shraddha, Ado Shraddha. So these verses are actually showing the 9 processes or 9 steps in devotional service, 9 processes in devotional service, starting from Ado Shraddha to Prema. That has been given here. So let us see the first verse. Shrunatam Sukatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Hridyantastoya Bhadrani Vidinoti Sruhat Satam. Shrunatam Sukatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridyantastoya Bhadrani Vidinoti Sruhat Satam. Why you went to hear? Because you had some faith. That can be very komal faith. Doesn't matter. Shraddha means the initials. Why even that Shraddha, the stage of Shraddha comes? These are all the 9 stages. Why this stage of Shraddha has also come? Sri Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur writes, it's not just 9 stages in devotional service. In fact, it starts where it has 4 more. In fact, he says 5 more. 5 more. First 2 are the mercy of the spirit, mercy of the devotees. We don't know how we got the mercy that we have taken this step. Even we have got Shraddha. Why we have Shraddha? Just because somebody showed us some mercy. The mercy of the devotee. Second is, knowingly, unknowingly, we have served Krishna. We don't know, served Krishna, or knowingly, unknowingly, we have come in contact with the things belonging to Krishna. We don't know when and how it happened. It may be this lifetime or the previous lifetime. So in this way, mercy and service gave us this important stage or this important step that is known as Shraddha. Even to walk in the devotional service, you need to step. That is the first step is Shraddha. The Shraddha is because of mercy and also because of service. Knowingly, unknowingly, we have served. We don't know whom we have served, how we came in contact with the things related to Krishna. So in this way, Ado Shraddha. So because Shraddha is there, Sadhu Sangha is there. That is why one comes in contact with a devotee. It is said, devotees are very durlabha. It's very difficult to come in contact with devotees. Everything is possible in this world, but association of devotee is the most important aspect. You see, money will be there, everything will be there, fortune will be there, but the ultimate fortune means material fortune can be there, but the highest fortune is sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha, sadhu sangha, sarva shastra kahe, lavamatra sadhu sangha, sarva siddhi hoye. Even if a moment association is there with a sadhu, who is a sadhu? So the question was asked by Devahuti to Kapil Muni, who is a sadhu? How to recognize a sadhu? Sadhu means who has 6 qualities. And what are the 6 qualities? Titikshaswaha, Karunikaha, Suhrudaha, Sarvadehina, Ajataha, Shatravaha, Shanta, Sadhava, Sadhu Bhusha. In this way, there are 6 qualities. Titikshaswaha, he should be tolerant. Srila Prabhupada is tolerant. To come in contact with Srila Prabhupada is also a fortune. It's not so easy to come in contact with Srila Prabhupada. When you say, where is Srila Prabhupada? Prabhupada is there in the books. Acharyas are always eternal. They are present in the Janmasthana, they are present in the Samadhi, they are present in the books. So Srila Prabhupada is always with us. So Adahu Shraddha, Srila Prabhupada is there. Srila Prabhupada is a sadhu because he has so much of tolerance. Titikshasva. Karunikaha, he has so much of compassion. He has compassion, that is why he went to West. What made him go to the West with a mission? Just because he has the compassion towards every living entity, the suffering souls. The sadhus always have compassion towards the suffering souls. That is why they always have a scissor propensities. That is the work of a sadhu. He cuts the material life and he attaches the person in spiritual life. But that is sadhu. Titikshasva. Karunikaha, that compassion should be there. Until unless there is no compassion in the heart of a doctor, how is he going to treat the patient? For that, he must have the compassionate heart. It is said 3 A's should always be remembered: acceptance, availability, appreciation. And Srila Prabhupada has them. Sadhu means he should have these 3 A's also. Acceptance. Prabhupada accepted anyone, everyone. Even an unqualified lowest mlecha is also accepted by Srila Prabhupada. And that is how Srila Prabhupada shown them. Shining is given by Srila Prabhupada. He takes a crude gold and shines them. When you take the gold from the mines, you'll think, how am I going to use this? It is the expertise of a goldsmith, that how he shines the gold. And that is the expertise of a sadhu. He takes a crude person and gives all wonderful qualities. Karunikaha. For that, karuna should be there. Acceptance, that large heart should be there to accept even an unqualified person. Surudaha, he should be friend of everyone. It's not just friend, he is a benefactor. He always thinks of others' benefit. Surada Sarvadehina, irrespective of a person known to him, unknown to him, he just accepts and he makes himself available and starts appreciating. And that is how he becomes the benefactor of every living entity. And then comes Ajataha Shatrava. He doesn't have any enemy because he doesn't see anyone separate from Krishna. He sees everybody as part and parcel of Krishna. Then where is the question of hating someone? He is Surudha and he has no hatred towards anyone because he knows that everyone is part and parcel of Krishna. Even though somebody may be very cruel to him, inimical to him, he knows is nothing but the game of Maya. He always sees that as a test. And in this way, he is always friendly and there is no inimical attitude. Ajata Shatrava Shanta. He is peaceful in every circumstances. There are so many challenges which comes in the path of a devotee. But then he is always peaceful. Today, what is Russia? When Srila Prabhupada went to preach in Russia, it is a communist country. And people were not accepting Krishna consciousness. In fact, they were throwing all type of nonsensical criticisms towards Krishna consciousness. And they used to blame the devotees. Hardly there were some devotees, some followers of Srila Prabhupada. One day it happened. The news comes, Hare Krishnas are thieves in the Russian paper. Front page paper comes. Hare Krishnas are thieves. The devotees come, they are crying before Srila Prabhupada. Prabhupada. Already the people are so reluctant to follow us, to accept us, to take up Krishna consciousness. On top of that, just see what they have done. They have written that we are all thieves. Prabhupada is ecstasy. Prabhupada was very peaceful. And Prabhupada gave a smile. He said, this is what I wanted. I said, what did you want? That you wanted people to say that we are thieves? I said, no, I wanted everyone to chant Krishna's name. Because everybody is going to read front page, what they are going to read, Hare Krishna. Our thieves are material. Hare Krishna is always spiritual. So Hare Krishna, Radha Krishna. This name is not a material word. This name is not some words made of material alphabets. Hare Krishna is always transcendental, always spiritual. Our thieves anyhow is material. Matter goes in matter. So in every challenging situations, Srila Prabhupada always maintained his tranquility, his peace. That is how Shanta. Ajata Shatro Shanta. Sadhava Sadhu Puruಷ. So Sadhava, this is the sixth quality of a sadhu. He is always heavy in knowledge. He is very peaceful in every challenging atmosphere also. He is very peaceful. Any situations, he never loses his peace, his Shanta. That is why he is heavy in knowledge. Because he is heavy in knowledge, he is peaceful. He sees these situations also as work of Maya, as a plan of Maya. And he also knows Avashya Rakshibe Krishna. That is why he is always peaceful. He knows Krishna is there in every situation. Krishna will protect him in every situation. So it is not so easy to become a sadhu. It's not so easy. That is also challenging. But sadhu kripa makes another person also sadhu. Like Haridas Thakur, he was always chanting Krishna's name. He is known as Namachar. To disturb him, the Nawab, he sends a prostitute. For 3 days, the prostitute sits with Haridas Thakur when he is chanting. She came to disturb him, but instead of disturbing him, she also became a sadhu. Just see the power of a sadhu. The sadhu is like a touchstone. He can completely change the iron to gold. So even if a person is very crude and having all type of contamination, just by the association of a sadhu, he also shines like gold. That is the power of a sadhu. So, Shrunuvatam Swakatha Krishna, just by hearing from a sadhu, Punya Shravana Kirtanaha, Hridayantastoya Bhadrani Vidinoti Swasatam, Adau Shatta, Tatha Sadhu Sangha, Anartha Nivrut. Bhajana Kriya has started. What is Bhajana Kriya? Hearing. Hearing more of Krishna, hearing more of Krishna. Just by hearing of Krishna, what happens? Anartha Nivrutti starts. All the anarthas automatically are wiped off. It takes time, but it is a procedure has started. How long it is going to happen, we don't know. It all depends upon how much abhadras we are having in our heart. But the procedure has started. So that is a wonderful thing. That's a good news, isn't it? The moment we are in this procedure of Krishna consciousness, we are secured. What is that? We have got a margin. We have got a jhadu. Cheto darpana marjanam. We have got a jhadu. Our Acharya has a jhadu to clean our contaminated consciousness. So when the abhadras are going, Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishti. What is the next stage which comes? That is Nishtha. Now just see how it started. Ado Shraddha, Tatha Sadhu Sangha, Bhajana Kriya, Anartha Nivritti. So Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu, all these abhatras are slowly, they are wiped off. When it is completely wiped off, that is the time. Nishtiki, when it is in the process now, it is in the process, and Anartha Nivrittis are going, the more the Anarthas are gone, then the Shraddha, which was Komala, now it becomes firm. So there is a firm determination in Krishna consciousness. Now it's completely determined. Yes, even if I have to face challenges, even if I have to hear criticism, I will stand. I will not run off. At the stage of Ado Shraddha, there is a possibility of a person running out of Krishna consciousness because he cannot tolerate. So he may go away because it is Komala. In this Komala Shraddha, he may have come with many motives. He may have come for some artha. He may have come for removing his difficulties. He may have come out of curiosity. There are chances to go away. But the moment you have firm faith in Krishna consciousness, that firmness is only because of the association of him. That firmness, that rigidness in the process, he will not give it up. Any challenging atmosphere, there may be some disturbances, some may cheat you, some may scorn you, some may insult you. But in all the challenging situations, he is standing. He is standing so firmly, so with complete determination, that is only because of Sadhu Kripa, because of the association of devotees. That is why today in the message also had written, it's very important to have services. Without services, just bookish knowledge also can make us an armchair philosopher. The more we serve, then you say, how to serve? Offline classes are not possible when you are in a distance. So online classes are happening. Then how to serve? Yes, the mission is there. Now we have a Jagannath mission which is going on. We have to make a wonderful center for our Jagannath, wonderful home for Jagannath. So wherever we are, we can be in Australia, we can be in London, we can be in US, wherever we are, we can serve Krishna. We can collect the funds. Our consciousness completely should be, I should see my Jagannath sitting in a wonderful throne in a new place. So this is the consciousness. You can be in any part of the world. Doesn't matter. Some are fortunate to have offline class. Some are not so fortunate to have offline class. It doesn't matter. But wherever we are, we just have to serve Krishna very nicely. And in this way, that firmness, naishtiki, nishtha comes. So when nishtha is there, what happens? Okay, I'm now determined in serving Krishna. And then what happens? My ruchi, taste is completely changed. Now, taste depends upon your modes of nature. When rajas and tamas are more, at that time I have the desire for material things. So with this rajas and tamas, I cannot relish Krishna consciousness. Sattvam sanjayate jnanam. I should have satoguna. And this satoguna, in this stage also, I have to transcend the satoguna also. Because I have to reach that stage of Vishuddha Sattva. Even the so-called Satoguna is also binding in this material nature. So which Satoguna has been emphasized by Krishna? The Satoguna in which I can understand about Krishna. For that, first I have to pacify, or I have to completely curb this Rajas and Tamas. Tada Rajas Tamo Bhava Kamalo Bhadayashchiye Chete Tevna Vitam Sitam Satve Prasidati. How am I going to situate myself in this Satoguna? By changing my taste, ruchi. And the change of taste happens because of the firm determination. Tada rajastamo bhava kamalo bhadayasya jete tirnavitam sitam satve prasidati. Tada rajastamo bhava. All these rajas and tamas automatically go away because you're firm in your sadhana. The process has been given, chanting the holy name, being firm in chanting the holy name, being firm in devotional service, then slowly Rajas and tamas automatically vanishes. And sthitam sattve prasidati, stam sattve prasidati, he is situated in satoguna. So now, ruchi, the taste has changed. And what is the taste now? Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim, kavitam va jagadish kamye, mama janmani, janmanishware, bhavatad bhakti rahaitukite. That ahaitukki service, the desire for having unmotivated, undeviated devotional service aroused. That taste is aroused. He has no desire for any dhana, na dhanam, janam, sundarim. I don't want any followers. I'm not bothered how many are following me. I am not bothered about how many disciples I have. So that nature only can come when the ruchi, the taste increases. The taste is only to serve Krishna. The taste in serving Krishna increases. When the taste in serving Krishna increases, the asakti, the attachment also increases. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogatah bhagavad tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. Evam prasanna manasaha bhagavad bhakti yogatah. So that much love for Krishna, prasanna manasaha, because that asakti, attachment increases. Bhagavad tattva vijnanam mukta sangasya jayate. When that attachment increases, nothing. So here the prayers, even in the Chaitanya Shashtakam is there, where says, let me be a kinkara. Just let me be like a small stone. Let me serve you always. Evam prasanna manaso bhagavad bhakti yogatah bhagavad tattva vijnanam. So it is very easy to understand bhagavad tattva. Mukta sangasya jayate, because now that so much of asakti, that asakti is actually bhava. There's not much difference between asakti and bhava. So that bhava, that love for Krishna is tremendous. Because of that, what happens now? Because of that bhava, reaching the stage of bhava, bhava and prema again are not having much difference. Now the prema for Krishna in which chiddante, completely vidyate hridaye gantis, chiddante, sarva samshaya, all the samshaya is automatically gone. Vidyate hridaye gantis, chiddante sarva samshaya, kshiyante chasa karmani, krishna eva manishwara. Krishna eva manishwara. That is how he can have darshan of Krishna. Only in the prema stage one can have darshan of Krishna. In the bhava stage, the rays of the sun is seen, but yet sun is not seen. He is experiencing the rays, but the sun is seen at the level of prema. What is the difference between bhava and prema? There's not much difference. Bhava is like Arunodaya, then prema is like Suryodaya. Arunodaya is the indication of Suryodaya. In the same way, when a person reaches this stage of bhava, in that stage of bhava, he can experience the bliss. And when he's experiencing that eternal bliss, he is hankering to see Krishna. And that hankering is making him more brighter and brighter. That hankering is actually polishing him. Even if a small contamination is there in the stage of bhava, that is also removed, because that hankering for the eagerness, or you can say the hankering, the eagerness to see Krishna, drishta eva atmanishware. That eagerness to see Krishna is increasing, and because of that, even if a small contamination is there, it is also wiped off. So these verses of Bhagavatam, second chapter, is very important verses which Srila Prabhupada has put in his mark in a Bhagavatam. To hear about Krishna from Vedic literatures, or to hear from him directly through the Bhagavad Gita, is itself righteous activity. And for one who hears about Krishna, Lord Krishna, who is dwelling in everyone's heart, acts as a best wishing friend and purifies the devotee who constantly engages in hearing of him. In this way, devotee naturally develops his dormant transcendental knowledge. As he hears more about Krishna from the Bhagavatam and from the devotees, he becomes fixed in the devotional service of the Lord. By development of devotional service, one becomes freed from the modes of passion and ignorance, and thus material lust and avarice are diminished. When these impurities are wiped away, the candidate remains steady in his position of pure goodness, becomes enlivened by devotional service, and understands the signs of God perfectly. Thus, Bhakti Yoga severs the hard knot of material affection, enables one to come at once to the stage of asamshayam samakram. Asamshayam samakram. That is the words which has been given word asamshayam samagram mam. Don't have doubt. Asamshayam samagram. Understanding the absolute truth. Therefore, only by hearing from Krishna or from his devotee, Krishna consciousness, can one understand the science of Krishna consciousness. Maya sakta asakta, maya sakta manapartah, yogam yunjan avashri, madashri. Asamshayam samagram mam. Krishna says, yatha gyasasi tashru. Hear from me, Krishna says. So here Srila Prabhupada says, hear from Krishna, hear from authoritative sources. So here we'll stop. Any doubts you can ask. You have any doubt? This seventh chapter, which is Jnana, Vijnana, Yoga. Okay. So I will leave Bindu Mataji. Ashok Vasundani Prabhuji is writing the exam. I think you can have, you can write the exam, you can connect yourself.